Are you having issues with your Pixel 6 battery life? It's not lasting you an entire day like it should. Well, I just got the Pixel 6, so my battery's still good, but in this video I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks on how you can extend your battery life on the Pixel 6 using or tweaking some software settings. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. And if you enjoy this kind of content, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys get notified exactly when I upload new videos. Without further ado, let's hop into those tips and tricks. Okay, so let's hop into some of these tips and tricks, guys. The very first one you can do, which is super simple, and it might honestly cripple your device, but you want to just go in here, turn off Wi-Fi, turn that off, turn off Bluetooth, and turn off cellular data, or you can just turn on airplane mode. But all that stuff, turning it off will save you a ton of battery life. I know that's going to cripple your phone. You can't use the internet or any of the main functions of the device, but that is one way to actually conserve battery life if you're like in a pinch and you need to like get some extra juice out of this thing. You just turn all that stuff off because it is always roaming and stuff. It's going to decrease your battery life. Let's go into display here because that's another... The display is like probably like the number one thing that eats up your battery life. Like that's pretty self-explanatory. Brightness level, you can literally just turn that down to almost nothing. If the device isn't being lit up, it's not going to be using your battery as much. Adaptive brightness, turn that off because constantly having to adjust the display is going to use up more battery life. Screen timeout, turn this to 15 seconds so your phone screen is not going to be on all the time. If you put your phone down like this, wait 15 seconds, it'll just turn off. You won't have to worry about it. I'm not going to do that, however, because right now my battery life has been pretty solid. So I leave it on 1 minute for the most part. Dark theme, turn this on. It basically will change the whole theme of your phone so the background will be dark and black. This is an OLED panel, meaning a black background means no pixels are turned on. So why is that good? If no pixels are turned on, it's not going to eat up your battery at all. So that's another thing. Another thing you can do is turn the refresh rate to 60 hertz. So this has smooth on by default 90 hertz, which uses up more battery life. I don't believe the Pixel 6 has an adaptive refresh rate, so it can't drop below 60 hertz. We're not scrolling or something like that. So turn this on, it'll cap it at 60 instead of having it run at a constant 90. So the more times it refreshes per second, the more battery life it's going to eat up. Another thing which not many people talk about, as you can see on my display, it's a black and white-ish background, but if you change your wallpaper to something like just straight black, it's not going to use up battery life because, like I said before, it's an OLED panel. Black pixels aren't going to be lit up at all. So just keep that in mind. If you want to go find like a straight black background off Google and just use that as your wallpaper like all the time, that's actually going to help you immensely. Another thing we can do in here is obviously just turn battery saver on, or you can have it scheduled to turn on at certain times of the day. That's pretty self-explanatory. You don't need to click on a video on how to save batteries. Turn on battery saver. And make sure to have adaptive preferences on so your Pixel kind of like learns your habits and will conserve battery life accordingly. And battery share, yeah, obviously it's going to eat up your battery since you're charging something else. So if you're in a pinch, do not use this. I always like to show my battery percentage in the top right just so I can always know how much battery I have. But those are the main things that I want to go over. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is self-explanatory. Maybe you didn't know about the wallpaper one involving the OLED display, but those to me are like the main things that will help conserve your battery life on your Pixel 6. Obviously, this has a 4600 milliamp hour battery. You shouldn't be having battery issues on this phone. It should last you a full day. In my testing so far, it has lasted me full days. But if in your case it's not, you can utilize some of these tips and increase your battery life. I don't like offering tips that kind of cripple your device, basically making it unusable, like that first tip I gave you with turning off Wi-Fi, cellular, and Bluetooth, because people use that stuff all the time. But just keep that in mind. Do what you need to do. Pixel 6, battery life savings. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video and if this stuff helps you out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Scott Tyler. Peace out, everyone.